Okay, this is my outdoor wood boiler 1 year update video. So I've been heating with this outdoor wood boiler that I built myself for 1 year now, and this is how it's going. I made a little slideshow. I've included some stuff that I would do differently if I was going to do it again, and some plans I have to upgrade it a little bit, and just some plans, in the next couple years that I'm going to do with it. So I didn't really have to do anything the first year. All I did was put wood in it, and it ran great. It kept the house super warm. My wife did it most of the time, or for a lot of the winter, actually. She did it all. You just put wood in it once or twice a day. It heats the house, no problem. The one thing I don't think I had in the last video was this fan cover. When I first built it, I just had this fan with the damper just kind of open to the elements here, and that didn't work when the water and the snow, it just wasn't a good fit. So last year I just had this metal, I guess it's a bucket. I just put that on it, and that just kept the snow and the ice off the fan there. And we actually had this bucket on it just up until last week. I finally took some time off for Christmas here from work, and I had some time, and I said, let's make a real fan cover for it. So I got some of this galvanized, I think it's like 14 gauge. It's good material. It's galvanized though. I got it for free. It was just a piece at the junkyard there, and I had my friend who had a plasma cutter. He helped me cut these pieces, but I welded it together just on the ground there, and made that. So that is a bit of an upgrade I did. I also worked on the door fitment a little bit, just made a few little repairs there. I put a new door rope in it as well. It didn't need a new door rope. The old one was sealing just fine, but I figured, here I might as well put a door rope. This was the old one here. Believe it or not, that's sealed just fine. Like, it wouldn't run away or get hot or anything like that, but I thought maybe it's time for a new one. This is a bit of a close-up of the inside of the door. I don't think I showed that in the last video. And this is my air deflector here. It's kind of a bit of a hack job, but I was just playing around with this piece of metal to get the air to shoot down at the fire, and where it is right now, I got it just right. So I didn't want to mess with it. That's been on there since I built it, and it works really well. The air goes just in the right spot. It stokes the fire really nicely. Yeah, this was the fan I used. I got it from this alternative heating and supplies. They sell two different models of this. I got the smaller one because the bigger one was almost $100 more. And I thought at first that it was going to be too small, but it turns out it was actually too much. So I bought this fan controller, and most of the time I run it right here, kind of on medium. But it's nice to have the controller. If I'm starting a new fire, I can turn it on high for a while to really get the fire going. Or if I want to, I can put it on real low, and it keeps the fire pretty small. Okay, yeah, the wood situation. I've found just last winter was kind of a mild winter, so it's hard to say. But I figure it uses about 8 to 10 full cords of wood per season. And a surprising amount of that is kind of in the in-between seasons, in October, November, March, April. I find you use a lot. There's a lot of months there. It's not just that December, January, February. So I don't know. I think 8 to 10 cords is about right. And this is how I measure that. I figure this trailer, maybe not heaped up like this, but this trailer full, I figure is about one full cord. I think the trailer, it's 12 feet long, it's 6 feet wide, and I think these sides are about 2 feet. And this is all of the wood I got from my own property here. We have lots of wood. There's lots of dead trees. There's no shortage of wood. Last year, though, I got, I think, 5 or 6 trailers of wood for free from my work. And I bought 3 trailer loads of wood from a guy who lives in the next town over that had some for me. So far, the only wood I've actually purchased were those 3 loads from that guy. But I can cut probably 1 or 2 of these. 1 comfortably in an afternoon. 2 probably it's a bit more of a chore. But it doesn't take long, especially when you're not splitting the wood. It doesn't take long to come up with that much wood. Of course, I don't have a dump trailer, so you have to load it twice. And I don't have a wood shed. Last year, I tarped all the wood, but I don't think you need to do that. I'm just letting it go this year. I am stacking it though to keep it from getting too snowed on. But I find just leaving it open works well. Maybe in the future I could build a wood shed, but for now I think this works fine. I got a new chainsaw this year. I got this from a guy I do work for sometimes. It's an Echo 600, and it had a ripped intake boot. So I got a pretty good deal on it, but I got it fixed up. It's a really nice chainsaw. I really like it. And most of the wood is dead ash trees, and I find they burn the best. Out of all the wood I've burned, I like burning the dry dead ash trees the most. This fall we burned a lot of poplar wood and basswood from some trees I cut down, and the green poplar wood, it does burn, and it burns good, but it's not the same. The dry ash, I find you get longer burn times, you get a lot more heat out of the same volume of wood. I burn a lot of these pallets too. I pick up pallets on my way home. They're good kindling. Okay, here's one I did. I filled the boiler all the way one night. Here, no, there's no date on here. I forget what day this was, but it was 10 o'clock at night. It was a cold day. It was minus 15. This is Celsius with a strong wind, and I filled it all the way. It was up to temp. We had the boiler at 175 there. And then this was 12 hours later. So this was the next morning at 10 a.m. This is what we had left. And here, that was before I stoked it. That was after. And you have to remember the burn chamber goes about that much lower. So that's all coals. And normally in the morning, I'll open the door, I'll check it. I'll probably throw 1 or 2 logs on, and that's it. Because I find in the morning when the sun hits the house, it comes in all the windows, and the furnace doesn't run very much during the day. So normally in the morning, I'll check it. I'll put 1 or 2 logs in. I'll leave for the day, and then at night I'll fill it all the way. That's kind of the routine I got into. Oh, and then the circulator pump saga here. This was the pump we had when I built the boiler. This is the one I bought. And then it ended up being junk. So I got this one, but this one, it heats the house just fine. Like, we're warm in the house. The temperature coming out of the vents is good. But one thing I have noticed though is we do lose a bit of water in the boiler. I don't want to say it's a gallon a week. It's probably less than that, but it is a noticeable amount of water that we lose. And I've checked the boiler every which way. It's not leaking from anywhere. As far as I can tell, it's not leaking. But what I was thinking, I was watching a video, and what I think is, I think the water inside the water jacket isn't mixing very well. And I think the water on top is getting too hot, and we're losing some water to evaporation. And I think when we had that bigger pump, we didn't lose water because it was pumping so much water that it kept the water very well mixed. And so what I did here is I took off the return line, and I got a stopwatch, and I just ran it into this bucket for a minute to see how many gallons per minute I get. And here, if we fast forward, this is what I got in 1 minute. I got, I don't know, what is that, 4 gallons of water, 4.5 gallons of water. I had 3 buckets here. I didn't know how much I was going to get. So that's kind of low. Like, seeing that, I'm almost surprised that it heats the house at all. So I think a bigger pump, I think putting a bigger pump, or even putting 2 pumps, might be a good strategy. This was me filling the boiler after I have it hooked up to the plumbing inside, and I just turn it on in the house and wait for it to overflow. When I built this boiler, I didn't put a level indicator either. This is just my level indicator. I just fill it till it overflows. I just crack it so there's not too much water coming out there when I have to go back inside and turn it off. And then, yeah, I was watching this guy's video here, our friend here, and this is what he says: things to consider. Good water circulation. You know, I'm drawing off the bottom and putting the cold back in the top. But what I was thinking to get better circulation is I was thinking of actually welding in another bung or 2 and just deadheading some pumps back to the top. One, I don't know, whatever, just to get a bit more flow there. And actually, I was also thinking of putting another pump and then running a heat recovery circuit up the chimney, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah, and then this is one I didn't show in the last video. This is what I found was really good to put the bungs in the sides of the boiler there to weld in. They sell these at Princess Auto. It's just, you just drill a hole. Here I got these, I find drill the best hole, and then you can just fit that in and weld it. And then, yeah, so to get the higher flow, I was thinking about getting one of these. This is the pump I think I should have, because my run is, what, it's like 200 feet total there and back. And I think to get in the 10, 12 gallon a minute range, I think this is what I would need. I'm not sure if that's the right number, but this is just a picture I took online. But I think to get a pump that can pump that, this is the kind of price they want. And I've looked at used. Used is hard to find in this size. And then the Chinese pumps they're selling on Amazon, it's hard to find a bigger one. They seem to only sell it in the smaller ones. So I found these ones online. Here, this company here, Li Ching. So I put in an order for 12 of them and this company, they only wanted $26 each. So I put in an order last week for 12 of these pumps. It was cheaper to buy 12 Chinese circulation pumps than it was to buy one real one. So I don't see how I can lose there. When they come in, if they're good, I might try to sell some of the extra ones. So if anyone watching needs a pump, send me a message. Maybe we can make a deal. I also thought about buying one of these powered anode rods. I'm a little bit worried about the corrosion in the boiler, although it doesn't seem to be rusting at all. I do want it to last a long time. These seem to be marketed as a really good solution for that. They're $200 though, and for some reason, just the way it is, it just kind of feels like a scam to me. So I'm gonna do some more research. But if I might decide to put one of these guys in. Okay, so this is things I would change about the boiler. Here, this is the standoff for the door. I would have made this a lot deeper because by the time you put the insulation on the front and then you put the corrugated sheet metal and you have the lip of the door that has to close, there's almost no room there. And this is another one. I made this door so that it's just a friction fit. I don't have a latch or an eccentric cam lock or anything like that. The door just friction closes, and it actually does a pretty good job. But yeah, if I was going to do this again, I'd almost just go 12 inches. Instead of cutting up angle iron like I did, I would just get some 1/4 inch plates cut. I'd get them cut just a foot and just have lots of room there. You could put more insulation at the front. You'd have room for more hardware or whatever you want to do. Oh, and then I think my boiler, it works really good. I find it's actually pretty efficient, but I would have welded some heating fins here, especially on the top. I think you could really just get a lot more surface area. Kind of something like this. Maybe get some 2-inch, 1/4 inch thick flat stock and kind of weld them in that kind of shape. It would be a lot of welding, but I think I don't know. I think it would be worth it. So this was our price list, or our list of expenses when I built it. Last year, it cost $6,000 to build the whole thing, and then this is our 1-year expenses. So since I built it, the only thing I've had to do is I put in 2 door ropes. One last year went bad because I was playing with it, and this year I just put a new one in. The old one was fine, but I don't know. I guess maybe I could have got away with not putting any, but so far I've put 2 in it. I put 1 more jug of water treatment. It was $62. I got a spare fan cover for the draft there on top of the fan just to have as a spare part. That was $26. I bought the fan controller to control the fan speed. It was around $15. I built that new fan cover, but I got the metal for free. My friend helped me cut it for free, and I just welded it together. I put $0 for that. I bought 2 55-gallon barrels that I shovel ash into. I bought both of them for $20. It's kind of, I don't know how else you would do it. It works pretty well. Last year I bought those 3 loads of wood for $180. I haven't bought any other wood yet except those 3 loads from that guy. So in 1 year so far, our expenses have been $353.40 Canadian. And then expenses that I've incurred, but I did not include in this total, is I'm doing this Chinese pumps deal. We'll see how that goes. I'll get back to you. I don't have it hooked up to the hot water in the house. We have an electric hot water heater. I want to add the boiler to the domestic hot water, but I haven't got around to it yet. I kind of want to redo a bunch of plumbing in the house. I want to relocate where the water heater is. It's a work in progress. We'll do it later. I wanted to, add an extra pump or 2 on the boiler to mix the water. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do there, so I didn't put anything. And then, I'm not sure how you want to count the chainsaw expenses. Like, I have to cut down trees on my property anyway. I did buy that new chainsaw this year. How much gas do you burn cutting all this wood? I don't know. We didn't put anything for that. So far, it's been a good project. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's heating the house. I'm putting wood in it. It's been very reliable. Has it paid for itself yet? No. I think if everything goes well and the expenses are going the way they're going, it'll pay for itself in 3 or 4 years. But at the same time, what is the lifespan of this thing? How long is it going to last? Is it going to last 10 years? I hope it lasts at least 10 years. Is it going to last 20 or 30 years? I don't know. Only time will tell. So that is my outdoor boiler 1-year video. You have any questions? You have anything you want me to talk about? Put it down in the comments. Reach out. I drive a truck all day. Get my phone number. Talk to me on the phone. Whatever you want. So there you go. That's your 1-year update.